Say hello to Lilly Contino.
You know, it sounds crazy, but trans women can produce milk to feed a baby.
Like he's having a nice feast.
She, her.
Yeah,
It's okay. It's all good.
But it was not all good.
I use she, her pronouns. I'm not sir. Yeah, like it's like a knife in the heart. I did specifically ask ahead of time not to be called sir. Yeah, I'm just gonna go.
Lilly is a transgender female content creator. You may recognize her as a while back she went viral for posting videos of her getting misgendered at restaurants. She's accused of recording at these restaurants solely for the purpose of recording herself getting misgendered, but the truth is much worse. For the sake of organization, I will be first going through her personal life and then through all of her controversies, which will take up around 90% of the video. Lilly Contino was born at Nick Contino in Atlanta, Georgia. She moved to Minnesota when she was 18 and finally to San Francisco in the August of 2020 when she was around 27. Lilly is now a 31-year-old transgender influencer. She is most known for going live and eating at restaurants. Her most viewed videos are the aforementioned ones of her getting misgendered. Lilly came out officially during the quarantine of 2020 when she was 27 years old. Up until that point, she was apparently really struggling mentally. She was abusing weed and her prescribed benzos. All in all, life was very miserable for her up until her transition, and even after her transition, she doesn't seem to be in the greatest mental state, as she's constantly posting videos of herself pre-transition. This could just be her being proud of herself, but more likely than not, she's wallowing in her own trauma. Lilly is in a polyamorous relationship with a girl named Emily. Emily is also polyamorous as she is currently engaged to someone. Emily also has an OnlyFans and a spicy Instagram account that she posts on, where Lilly regularly comments just hard eyes or anything to let her know that Lily's still thinking of her. From everything I've seen, this relationship is extremely manipulative and unhealthy. For example, here's a copy of a message sent to Emily, basically stating that Lilly cannot commit to a relationship with her until she fixes her life and meets Lily's expectations. Also, I had the talk with Emily last night, and she reacted pretty well, asked me for it in writing. This is what I'm sending, to recap what we talked about last night. Since we've been dating for about 3 months, it feels natural that the conversation about taking our relationship to the next level, i.e. becoming girlfriends, would happen at some point soonish. As much as I would love to take that leap with you, if you wanted to, of course, I can't until you start to take care of yourself a bit better. I see you struggle a lot with getting things done, like classwork, cleaning your room, being on time for things, etc. These things independently aren't terrible, but they add up to a lot of chaos and difficulty for you that really holds you back. I see a huge amount of potential and ability in you. You're talented, creative, gorgeous, and have marketable skills. It's easy to picture you doing a number of things successfully. There just seems to be something in the way that's preventing you from executing in school, work, and your personal life. I see it holding you back from happiness and more success whenever we're together. Ultimately, I want to see you thrive, and honestly, I'm sure you can do it, but you need to be the one to take the reins and make better choices for yourself. I know it's not easy, and it's not something that can happen overnight. I just need to see you take care of yourself a bit better before I'm able to take our relationship to the next level. That being said, I don't want to stop seeing you. I like spending time with you. I don't want to stop hanging out with you. I just have to put a cap on the level of commitment and emotional intimacy I can put forward until I see you in a better place for yourself. I have a few observations on this. Number one, I don't think she's polyamorous. From everything I've seen, She prefers to date one person and sleep around with others, which represents polygamy more than anything, which is the practice of having multiple partners that are loyal solely to you. Second of all, I would describe her and her behavior as narcissistic. Now, I absolutely hate throwing this word around. It is not an adjective to use lightly. So many people throw it around at anyone whose behavior they find even slightly malicious. This is a serious word that describes a severe mental condition. That being said, it fits Lilly to a T. Narcissism is defined as a mental health condition in which people have an unreasonably high sense of their own importance to the point of negatively affecting others. The audacity to tell this girl that she needs to balance all this crap in her life perfectly and fix all her problems to meet Lily's standards before she can even commit to a relationship is one of the most disgusting, self-centered things I've ever heard. Lilly should be absolutely ashamed of herself for this. You will see the full extent of this kind of behavior in this next section. Alright, I'm just gonna get this out of the way. Lily's old Reddit account was found, and so were some very concerning posts, including racist jokes and a disgusting confession from when she was 3. Let me say, I don't think these are valid criticisms at all. They were posted well over a decade ago, and she has gone on to apologize and admit guilt to these. So, now that that's out of the way, let's get into some real controversy. Okay, I just found this out after recording and editing and everything. Lilly reposted NAMBLA articles on her Reddit, which, if you don't know what that is, it is the National Association of Man and Boy Love of America. Something along those lines. Which, yeah, of course, they promote pedophilia. So that is something to take in account. During the upcoming sections, when I mention her accusations of her, liking kids a bit much, just take that into account. It was a long time ago, but still, it should be considered. I've neglected to bring this up until now, but Lilly does make spicy content. She also likes to make trans educational content aimed towards younger audiences.
Hi friends! Today we're going to talk about something super important, what it means to be transgender. It's a big word, but I promise that it's easy to understand. Ready to learn? The first thing I want you to do is close your eyes. Now think, do you feel like a boy, a girl, or a little bit of both? Do you have your answer? Great. Now I want you to imagine that everyone keeps telling you that you're something else, even though in your heart you know who you are. Wouldn't that make you sad inside? People who feel like this are transgender. And if you're not transgender, it's super easy to be friends with someone who is. Let's take our imaginary friend Theo, for example. One day you notice that Theo starts wearing girl clothes instead of boy clothes, and then they tell you that they want to be called Luna instead of Theo. This is so exciting for our friend Luna because they finally get to be their true self. And if you accidentally call Luna by their old name, make sure to say a big sorry and that you'll do better next time. As you can see, transgender people are just like you and me. They're our friends.
See the problem? Uploading kids content while also making adult content is very problematic, as a kid can see this kid-friendly content, which could lead them to her page, which is certainly not kid-friendly, and her page can lead to her other pages, which are even less kid-friendly, as she has an OF and a quote-unquote spicy Instagram account. On May 9th, 2024, Lilly uploaded a video explaining her quote-unquote upcoming genital surgery at a populated restaurant at the Disney resort.
I'm gonna get banned from Disney. I swear, we're about to get banned from Disney. Last summer, I got my cake pops removed, and the plan up until recently was to get my marshmallow wand reconfigured into a marshmallow tunnel. Unfortunately, a few weeks ago, I noticed some hair regrowth on my marshmallow wand. That's bad because the outside of the wand is what becomes the inside of the tunnel, so you don't want hair growing there, or else it's very uncomfortable. So I talked to my surgeon and he said that it would be best to postpone the procedure until after hair removal is complete. This is obviously disappointing because I was really excited to have a marshmallow tunnel sooner. That being said, it is still happening. We're just not sure when it's happening. Hair removal is a fickle thing and it's really hard to predict when it will finish. But my hair removal technician thinks it will be before the end of the year. So, fingers crossed. Oh, go. Want some? My mom's here, by the way. The marshmallow tunnel.
This video caused a massive outrage. The number one problem with this is that she was talking about her genitals around children, which, even with her using those sweets as a disguise, it was the principle of it that was the issue. It was discussing that at a place for families around a bunch of children. That's what's wrong. Lilly has always been iffy around the topic of children. She's a big supporter of trans kids, encouraging them to get on puberty blockers and HRT even at extremely young ages, which is very problematic and dangerous.
When a kid tells you that they're transgender, believe them. A lot of people will say that it's impossible for a 4-year-old to know if they're trans or not, but actually that's not true. They can know, and here's why. From day one, gender is baked into everything we do. You either have a boy name or a girl name. Boy toys or girl toys, boy clothes or girl clothes. So from an early age, kids understand the difference between boy and girl, and more importantly, which one they're expected to be. So it makes sense that if what they feel inside is different than what they're expected to be, then they might feel uncomfortable, and they might want to talk about that discomfort. And we all know that kids are good at talking about how they feel. For example, mommy, I skinned my knee. Mommy, someone called me a name on the playground. Or even, mommy, I don't like wearing boy clothes. These are all similar feelings of discomfort that we can talk about to our parents. That's not to say that all kids will realize they're transgender when they're little. A lot don't. I didn't until I was 27, but I can't tell you how many people I've met that knew they were trans at 4 or 5 years old. So if there's a kid in your life who's telling you they're trans, please believe them. They know what they're talking about, and your support might save their life.
Even after all the backlash, she didn't apologize. The video is still up because that's exactly what she wants. She wants the hate, she wants the backlash. Her whole channel is made to make you mad. One of Lilly's biggest problems is that her whole channel, all her content is just rage bait. Her videos are made to upset people. It drives traction to her channel, it gets the eyes on her, and that's how she gets her radical supporters and her money. A previous associate of hers shared screenshots of Lilly's video idea notes, and as you can see, they're all ideas that'll rile up the public, since Lilly's life thrives off of outrage and controversy. Speaking on that, one of Lilly's main forms of income are her live streams, which are another part of her controversies. She goes to nice restaurants in San Francisco, sits down, occasionally accompanied by her little purse dog, which is aggressive as she does bite a woman even after Lilly reassures the woman that the dog is friendly.
Oh yeah, he's friendly. Hey, did he growl? Did he bite?
No, it's okay.
Did he bite you?
He didn't get me.
Nugster.
I'm quick reflex, so.
I'm so sorry.
She orders food and streams her whole experience while talking to the stream and answering questions. During these questions, Lilly's extremist views begin to surface, specifically on trans kids. Her views are that children are born as a bunch of maybes. They don't have a specific gender. It's an educated guess whether they are a boy or a girl at birth. They believe that kids who believe they're trans should be given tools to transition, no matter the age. Just a lot of problematic opinions that will be elaborated on later. Now, she gets a massive amount of donations during these streams. She even has notable supporters that regularly donate large sums of money during these streams, to which Lilly has been shown to regularly mistreat and ignore. The most controversial part of these streams is what you all know her for. She gets misgendered sometimes at these restaurants. Now, what does she do during these instances that are so controversial? Well, first off, she posted about them multiple times without the waiter's consent, which is illegal in her state. California is a two-party consent state, which means both parties need to consent to being filmed. Now, they may have consented to the stream, maybe, but certainly not to be posted multiple times and lambasted to millions of people. Not only is it illegal in her state, but it's highly immoral. They made a mistake, a small mistake, misgendering her, and shouldn't be put on blast online to millions for it. She has even falsely accused a waiter of misgendering her.
Extremely generous. Thank you, everyone. Perfect. And now this is mint iced tea, like just mint tea, not caffeinated.
No sugar in it yet. Just
Oh.
tea, yeah.
But it's black tea?
Black tea.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought it was iced mint tea, like just like herbal tea. I'm caffeine free, so.
Oh, okay, no problem. You want something else?
Yeah, I would love something else. What about a top hat ginger?
Sure.
Thank you. That's a non-alcoholic, right?
Yeah, the ginger beer?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's non-alcoholic.
Okay. And my pronouns are she, her, just so you know. Thank you.
As you can see, he tried to say sugar and not she. Anyone with over 2.5 brain cells could obviously hear that, but unfortunately Lilly has the under. That's not the only part of this that got Lilly into hot water. During one of these instances where she got misgendered, Lilly decided to get up and leave right before service. She likes doing this, as you'll see later. But worst of all, she has called the manager of the restaurant, complaining to them that she was misgendered. I don't think I have to explain how wrong that is. A simple mistake like that shouldn't cost them their job. All of this isn't even the end of her livestream mishaps. She has been shown to be very entitled, asking restaurants to turn their music down while she was streaming, and then looking for any reason to leave when they didn't.
Hi.
So Pete told us that we couldn't turn the music off or open for normal business hours, so we're gonna have the music playing from the
Is this the volume?
Yes.
It won't get any louder than this?
No, this is the volume it's been at.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. That's interesting. Can you all hear the music? That's a little disappointing. They texted me that it would be okay, and then they said it actually wouldn't be okay. It's kind of uncool, I'm not gonna lie. Wish I had known. I mean, it's not terribly loud, and now that I actually know how to use my Loops earplugs, it's like, it's fine. It just got louder. Is it prohibitively loud? Like, is it bothersome to you, Adriana? Because if it is, like, I texted the owner of the restaurant. I said, "Hey, is today a good day?" And he said, "Yes, 100%." Just subtle. Okay. Is it too loud for anyone else? It is my philosophy that if there is one person that it's too loud for, you need to go somewhere else. It's fine. Okay.
She's also done things like leave unbelievably rude reviews on Yelp. For example, this one, she leaves a 1-star review on a restaurant because a third-party Grubhub delivery driver didn't knock on her door. Her streams mostly consist of her just discussing trans issues, a lot of issues concerning trans kids, which are problematic in their own right. Lily is very thin-skinned, as she regularly mutes people who don't agree with her, which is pretty counterproductive in my opinion. I couldn't go over every stupid or controversial thing she did during her lives, but I don't think either of us have time for that. But lucky for us, her degeneracy extends onto other platforms. Lily has her own Discord server. At the moment, it is locked behind a paywall due to excessive trolling. Before that, she had a public server with a whole mod team, and she seemed to have built up a little community on the server. But Lily, being Lily, destroys it. Her behavior and actions caused a divide between her and her mods, and the rage-bait content Lily posts brought trolls to the server. Day by day, trolls and problems with the team arose. Lily's thin skin caused many useless arguments with her mods. For example, one mod had a problem with her sitting in the handicap table during one of her live streams. I just let her know in a simple message, which spiraled into a massive, useless argument with Lily behaving like a distressed child and causing problems for no reason, and extending this simple issue to a falling out and permanently damaged relationship.
Voice is easier for this. So, look, I understand where you are coming from. However, as someone who is in my inner circle, someone I trust, because I trust you, and I know you have my back, I would have hoped that you would see that my intention in sitting at that table was nothing insidious at all. There was no like, I don't care, it's handicap, I'm gonna sit here anyways. It's good lighting, room for me and Nugget. There was no one else outside sitting. I think there was even another handicap table, but it seems that your interpretation of my action was bad faith, right? Like, oh, Lily really fucked up here, as opposed to like, here's some like, hey, I saw you're sitting at a handicap table, and I know you probably didn't think about it, but like, you could be taking a seat away from someone, right? Like, that kind of feedback is much easier to take and incorporate, as opposed to what I see in our chat, which is like anger or some kind of like interpreting what I was doing as like an intentional effort to upset, which it certainly was not. And I hope that, in general, as someone who I know has my back, that you would see that my intention was not to hurt or offend. If that's the case, right? I just want to make sure that if you're going to stay on the mod squad, that I know that I can trust you to, at the very, like, yes, give me feedback, but also hopefully interpret my actions as I intend them. Does that make sense?
Another argument happened with a fella known as Ollie. They're apparently one of Lily's biggest supporters, but her narcissism got in the way of that. Basically, Lily asked Ollie if they were posting in the quote-unquote Lily Snarks subreddit, which will get its own section later. Ollie confirmed this, and Lily began spam calling them to the point where they got uncomfortable. Ollie went on a little tangent about their boundaries to where Lilly blocked them and kicked them out of the server, so it's another loyal servant gone. All of these problems combined with the outrage from Lilly's content and the trolls came to a head one day when the whole mod team decided to leave the server. This devastated Lilly, as she was left with the whole server to manage by herself and losing her most loyal followers and friends. The server healed over time, but it never reached the point it was before, especially since it's locked via a paywall. You could scream everything I've said up until this point through a megaphone right in her ear, and she still wouldn't admit fault. In fact, there's a whole community that got together just to criticize and hate on her, which, if anything, just encourages her behavior as she is getting the attention she so desperately wants. Lilly Tino _snark is a subreddit made with the sole intent to snark Lilly. Snark meaning making critical comments in a sarcastic or indirect way. I would classify this more as a hate subreddit, as any kind of admiration towards Lilly will be immediately deleted. Some of the most popular posts are straight up making fun of Lilly's appearance, body shaming her, and making fun of her hairline. There's also a big consensus among the community that Lilly likes kids a little too much. The backing for these accusations is that she posts a lot of content directed to kids, which, as I mentioned, leads them to her page, which isn't very kid-friendly, and that she dresses like a little girl a lot, which they find perverted and weird. There was a post by one of the community's mods on June 26th that warns their members not to accuse Lilly of things like that, to protect the subreddit from getting shut down. If you really look into the wording of the post and the comment replies the mod made, it's apparent that they wholeheartedly believe Lilly is what they're accusing her of, and they're only enforcing this for the sake of the community. Most of the info from this video was from that subreddit, so thanks to them. Just wanted to mention that. Anyway, snarking on Lilly somehow made for a massive community, as people from all races, genders, sexualities, identities came together to hate one person. A community this large hating on her obviously got her attention. A few of the people in the server were in Lilly's inner ring, and a few who weren't certainly joined after falling out with her, like the aforementioned mod who got upset at Lilly for using the disabled table, and Ollie. All of this didn't stop Lilly though, oh no. As I've said, Lilly's living is based off of making people mad. That's how her supporters find her, and that's how she makes money. But what does she need all this money for, you might ask? She needs it to fund the surgery that she loves talking about so much. She allegedly has already had one, where she had her quote-unquote bag emptied. She also has an apparent neck surgery, one that would transform her marshmallow wand into a marshmallow tunnel. But apparently her marshmallow wand had hair growth, as you saw previously, so she had to postpone her surgery indefinitely. Such an unfortunate incident must have been devastating for her, right? Nope. She went to Disneyland, pocketing all the money donated for her surgery. That's also where she made the infamous Disney video that got her into that hot water. This begs the question, will she ever get the surgery? Did she even get the surgery she said she did? According to an article, she's currently saving up for bottom surgery that'll cost $50,000 to $100,000. So I personally think it's safe to say we aren't going to see the surgery anytime soon, if ever. Now that all that yapping is out of the way, it's time for the conclusion. That was the complete summary of Lilly Contino. I think at this point, Lilly could be considered a lol cow. I mean, she's certainly treated like one. I'd like to thank anyone and everyone who watched this. If you enjoy this style of content, please subscribe. If there's one thing to take away from all this,
I use she, her pronouns. I'm not sir.